Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead. Michael got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20. Break 3 to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40 midfield. 40 30 to the coast. 20 15 Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it for Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn Maya in the morning on this TGI Mickey Vicky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. And I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn Maya in the morning, like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn Maya in the morning as well. Watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real. Come on, guys, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching this on our mobile app, please don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. Come on, baby, what's wrong with you? You got to keep up with the Joneses and them. So here's what you do. Wherever you get your, it doesn't matter where you get your app from. Just go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it. You take us with you on the go, so not only do you get Shawn Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, and not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching this on our Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channels. If you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel to your television. Put us there next to the big boys, Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Amazon, HBO, Paramount Plus, Stars. Oh, yeah. New episode of The Chi just came out on Paramount Plus today. I got to check it out when I get back from picking up the warden. But I digress. Put us download us to the big screen. Hell, we're on the big screen, right, Mickey, Vicky, now. You can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Chi. That's CHI at Sports Zone Chi. Now, if you want to follow me, just me, personally online, want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Man, we got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best Chicago morning sports talk show around, and that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let's check out the chat. The chat is jumping already. Cornelius Squall's in the house early. What up, sports donors? I hope the media is satisfied now, but I doubt it. I presume you're talking about Caleb addressing his issue, which we're going to do today. Rick Gonzalez checking in. What's up, Papa? Good morning, Shawn. Happy Friday to all. And FGB. What? FGB. What? FGB. That's what I'm talking about, baby. FGB forever. Michelle Walls in the Mickey Ficky house is a Mickey Ficky TGIF and a Sky win. Yes, sir, Bob. They got in the win column. Posted a dub yesterday. I liked it for the ladies. My man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. is in the house. Junior is in the house, man. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can promise you. That I can promise you. Where we at? Here we go. Man, we got a great show today, man. I'm excited. 10 o'clock, my man Zack Pearson from BearReport.com is going to join us. We're going to talk Bears football. The Bears are back at OTAs. The media had access to them on Wednesday. And we're going to talk. I want to get his take on the whole situation, what he's seeing in camp, different than other camps, OTAs, I should say, other years, and just kind of give me his thought on how on this coaching staff and how they're doing things. Okay, it's easier to get a pulse on it when you're there and you're watching live as opposed to highlights and things like that. So we don't see all the little things that you see and hear when you're there live. So my man Zack Pearson coming on at the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. And as I told you, we got some big news today. I'm fired up, excited to tell you guys about that. We got some big news. Excellent. Can't talk right now. Why people be calling me at 9 o'clock? You know what's up. You know I'm doing my thing. If you want to call me. Ay, Dios mío, dame fuerza. Whew. I don't know. But, man, we have a lot to talk about. We got Bears to talk again with Zack Pearson at 10 o'clock. We have baseball. Both teams were off yesterday, but they're back in action tonight. Or today. One today, one tonight. For weekend sets, one's home, one's away. All right, we have some Bulls to talk. We have some Sky to talk. The ladies played last night. And as Mr. Mashun let everyone know and let the cat out of the bag and jump the gun, they did win yesterday. Getting the first win. We're going to talk about that. And the former Blackhawks great, Captain, my captain, wants to come back to play in the NHL. He's a free agent. What's the likelihood of him returning to the Blackhawks? We'll talk about that. Then we'll talk a little NBA playoffs. Playoffs? The conference finals, Eastern Conference, Western Conference finals, setting up the stage for the NBA finals, which begins 1 week from today? No, yesterday. 1 week from yesterday. So we have a lot to get started, a lot to get through. So let's get it crack-a-lacking. All right. We'll get it started. We'll talk. So what I want to do is we'll deal with the elephant in the room. I've been hyping it and talking to you about it. Let you know what the big news is for the show in Sports Zone Chicago. Here it is.
Welcome to the circus.
So, folks, we are changing the name of the show from Shawn Maya in the morning to Shawn Sierra Sports. Fired up about it. I like the alliteration, SSS, Shawn Sierra Sports. I want to wish Maya well. She's doing amazing things, her other endeavors. She works in mental health, and she is doing awesome stuff couldn't commit the time. She's killing it. I ain't mad at her. She's making money hand over fist. She's helping people. Just didn't have time. I get it. I understand. So I wish her nothing but the best. But as far as us, we got to keep it moving, baby. We got to keep it moving, and I'm fired up about it. Very fired up about it. I will do a few more things. We're most likely going to have a specific Bears show during football season where we break down film. And I, unlike some people, know how to break down film by myself. I don't need anyone else to watch it with me. I can do that. And I'll bring it to you live, and we'll have that. So we're going to add that. And then we have some other ideas as well that we're going to do. Some other shows that we're going to that are in the infant stages, but definitely want to let you know. So we got a new name for the show. It'll be Sean Sierra Sports. I've been working his tail off, trying to get a lot of different things set up and intros and things and all this other stuff. Everything's set up. We had to change it. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, so I have a new intro on Monday. New clothes on Monday. All right. Got a new sweeper. Check the sweeper out. We've been working, baby, working. Getting all this new stuff together. Yes. Thank you, Junior. Appreciate it. Sean Walls, thank you, sir. Rick Gonzalez says, congrats, Sean. Thank you, Papa. I appreciate it. Triple S. Cornelius Squall says, congratulations. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Wow. It's going to be fun. I'm excited about it. And it's something good for Sports Zone Chicago. Will be there's a lot again that I have planned for this channel. And yeah. How about them White Sox? You're damn right, Junior. You're damn right, baby. I got my jersey here. As I told you before, I told you guys, look at it. I told you I was getting it from China. See that? Thought I was playing. Tariffs and all. I paid. I got a guy. So it came in yesterday, just in time. 1 week from today, I'll be there. It's going to be Mexican Heritage Night over at Sox Park. We had a couple DJs. We have a taquiza, a taco maker. For those of you who don't know what a taquiza is, man, we're gonna get funky before we go in. I'm probably gonna end up buying a 500 level ticket, getting in line, going to get the Mexican jersey that they have, coming back out, putting it in the car, and then going finish drinking and partying and acting a fool, and then going in whenever the hell we make it in the park. But I'll have my Mexican jersey that they're handing out for the game, the giveaway. We'll have had that, and yeah. So Plankster checking in. What's up, Papa? Good morning. Say good morning and happy Friday, Sean. Sports Zoners, bear down. Thank you, sir. So I'm a little fired up. Yeah. So for those of you who just got here and tuned in, I'll keep mentioning it. The news, big news was decided to change the name of the show to Sean Sierra Sports. It's going to be fun. It's going to be real, real fun. And again, the sweeper. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. So listen. Let's get it crack-a-lacking. Let's get it crack-a-lacking. Here we go, guys. You know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Let's see, the first top of the morning topic. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Here we go. Here we go, baby. Baby, baby. The Sky. Sky with a big win yesterday. They get in the win column, their first win of the season. The Sky beat the Dallas Wings 97-92. Book of World's future ex-wife, Camila Cardoso, career high 23 points. Also had 8 rebounds. Ariel Atkins, 17 points in the victory. And Angel Reese, 6 points, 9 rebounds for the girls. Big win for the Sky because it got them off the schneid. They were winners. They were 0-4. And they needed, in the first 2 games, they gave up 90-plus points. Unheard of. 92, 93 or something, and then 99. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But they're able to get their act together, beat the Dallas Wings. Now, staying with that, the girls, the Sky travel to Dallas. It's a home and home. So they played Dallas yesterday. They're playing them tomorrow. They face the Dallas Wings tomorrow. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. You can catch that game locally on the U, WCIU, Channel 26, the U. You can check that out live. And the last thing for the girls, the Sky have announced that they will retire Candace Parker's number 3 jersey, put it in the rafters on August 25th, 2025. They will retire her jersey. For those of you who don't know and been under the rock, Candace Parker went to Naperville Central. Okay. Number 1 player coming out, went to Tennessee. Championships there. Played for the LA Sparks. Played for a couple of teams. She was finally able to come home and play for the Chicago Sky a few years ago. Okay, and she was able to win a WNBA title here in Chicago with her hometown team. And, you know, it was, let me tell you, it was awesome for her. It was awesome for us as fans to see one of our own. Listen, we got fired up, and this is, and I don't want to minimize it when I say it's only the WNBA. Okay? But this is what we had envisioned okay, when the Bulls drafted D Rose. The city went crazy for the Sky. Imagine had that been Derrick Rose. Here's what the Sky said. All right, I'm sorry. Here's what Candace Parker said after she was informed that they're retiring her jersey. She said, growing up in Naperville, playing on courts around here with my brothers and watching Chicago teams like the Bulls who became synonymous with winning, I never imagined one day my jersey would hang in the rafters of my hometown team. Coming home to Chicago and helping bring the city its first WNBA championship here, it was personal. I'm beyond grateful to the city, the fans, and everyone who's been part of my journey. Chicago raised me, and this will always be home. Candace Parker. Awesome stuff. I'm so happy for her. That's pretty dope. Leading us, Chicago Sky, to a WNBA title. And now she will be hanging in the rafters forever. Cornelia Squall said, Angel needs to change her game to a rebounder and spot-up shooter because she lacks upper body strength. Okay. King Booker World checking in. He says, salute, chat, and Sean. What's up, King Booker World? That's what I'm talking about. Keeping it moving. The next top of the morning topic. The good guys. The White Sox travel to be more. Speaking of Candace, Angel Reese's hometown, Baltimore, for a weekend set with the Orioles. First pitch tonight is at 6:05 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on Chicago Sports Network or listen to it on their flagship station, ESPN 1000. The probables for tonight's game. For the good guys in the bump, Sean Burke tops the hill. He's 3-5 with a 4.33 ERA going up against Zach Eflin. For the O's, he's 3-2 with a 5.40 ERA. Looking to get 1-2 wins. Just win series. That's all we need. Just win the series. We don't need to go on a 37-game win streak. No. Just win series. Okay? The Sox in their last 10 games are 4-6. All right? Give me 5-5. Hell, Kansas City, Minnesota, Cleveland in our division were all 5-5 in their last 10 games. Detroit was 6-4. All right? The Sox are 18-38. Better than they were at this stage last year, which is dope, and I'm happy for that. I'm very, very excited for the way this thing's going to finish up. This team is playing hard. This team feels like that they're not out of any game, regardless of how many runs they're down in the ninth. These guys fight all the way through. They play all 27. Famous Joe Madden quote, all 27. All 27 outs. And I'll be there next Saturday. I'll probably be there on my birthday, July 25th. That's the Crosstown Scrub Sox. Looks like you're going to go to that game as well. Fireworks that night, too. So they're going to have fireworks for my birthday. I appreciate it. For all the money I've given them over the years when they sucked, I still supported them. Anyway. Next top of the morning topic, let's keep it moving. Maybe the Cubs. Northsiders host the Cincinnati Reds up at Wrigley Field for a weekend set. First pitch today is at 1:20 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on the Marquee Network or listen to it on their flagship station, 670 a.m. The probables for today's game for the Reds. Andrew Abbott is on the bump. He's 4-0 with a 1.77 ERA going up against Colin Ray. For the Northsiders, he's 3-1 with a 3.28 ERA. Cubs have been on a mission, boy. Let me tell you. Cubs have been playing great baseball. All right, they're 8-2 in their last 10 games. Only the Yankees have a better record in the last 10 games. The Yankees have been 9-1. The Cubs are 8-2, and the Philadelphia Phillies are 8-2 as well. They're tied for second for the best record in the last 10 games. They're playing, man. The Cubs, like the Sox, they feel like they're in it, and it's not over until the fat lady sings. And that's after all 27 outs have been recorded. And as a Cub fan, you got to be excited about that because you understand that there's always hope. There's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance. So yes, and it's fun. It's fun when you go in and you feel and you have confidence that you can come out and get 2 runs or 3 runs and win the game and walk it off if you're at home. All right, the most difficult outs in the games are out 25, 26, and 27. Those are the most difficult outs to get in a baseball game. And the Cubs make it very difficult for a veteran. Doesn't matter whether it's a young or newer closer or a veteran closer, they make it difficult on them. Very difficult. Yes, King Booker World, you missed it. We'll talk about it as soon as I get out of break. I will get those. You know what? Yeah, I got to get those made. Got to get a shirt and stuff made. Oh, he's right. We're going to have some swag as well. We're going to get some stuff out. You guys want to get some T-shirts and a hat? We'll have a whole bunch of stuff. That'll be soon. That is your birthday, July 25th. And Walter Payton's birthday as well. So, but anyway, listen, we're going to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we're going to finish up with top of the morning topics. Okay? And then we're going to welcome Zack Pearson at the top of the hour. All right? So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Sean Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
The tip goes to Chicago, and we're underway here at Wintrust, and a quick move and quick score off the tip. Miss here tonight here so far. Atkins lowering her head, looking to push it. Beck Allen, pump fake, drills a three-pointer. The Chicago Sky got it.
Showing off that WNBA muscle that she's developed the last couple of years.
Here's Courtney, quickly delivers over to Kia Nurse. Corner shot, corner made. Seconds, the shot clock reset. Sky looking for their first win. Here's Vandersloot, pulls up from mid-range, hits it. One of the all-time best passers is now also the all-time leading scorer in Chicago Sky history.
Going to need some punch in this fourth quarter.
Onyenwere chases down the loose ball and gets a free lay-in. We're tied at 73.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of WCIU. The U has a big win for the Sky. What's going on here in the chat? Big standing O for Mr. Shorty. King Booker Wilson standing ovation for Shorty. Shorty, bravo. What happened? What happened? He's like, oh man, he was all shocked, Booker. Thank you. What happened, Shorty? Why? What's all the fuss about? I want to know. I want to know. Got FOMO. I'm fear of missing out. Come on, baby. Let me know. Just let me know. Oh, I went on a Chicago media rant last night. Okay. Yeah. Cornelia, she has slimmed down, but she needs some spring in her step. She needs to be jumping. Look, you're 6'7". There's no reason she should have her. All right, there's no reason she should be having her shot blocked. Not at 6'7". We're one of the tallest women in the NBA. Not by 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" people. No reason you should be getting your shot blocked. Got to learn how to get up off the ground, even if it's 6, 7 inches. Get up off the ground. Make sure no one blocks it. All right. Well, listen. Let's get back to where were we? Where were we? Here, the next top of the morning topic, as I said before, my captain, former Chicago Blackhawks captain and stud, Jonathan Toews, informed his agent yesterday that he will attempt to play. He will return to the NHL next year. Remember, Jonathan Toews hasn't played since 2023. He had that medical situation. Okay, and then he sat out a year. He has until July 1st, I believe. He'll be a free agent. He can negotiate with any team. Now, the question is, will the Blackhawks reunite with him? Chances are no. Chances of this are slim and none, and Slim just left town. Now, I don't know if I like it, because here's my issue. I would love for him and Toews to come back. The reason being, I want them to show these youngsters how to win. I want Connor Bedard to play with a Patrick Kane. I want Connor Bedard and Frankie Nazar to play with a Jonathan Toews. I want these youngsters to play with legends of this team, of this organization. Jonathan Toews will be 37, or he's 37 now. He'll be 38. But I want them to play with guys who are legends. Yeah, Jonathan Toews, last month he turned 37, so he'll be 37 at the beginning of most of next season. And according to Ben Pope, all right, Jonathan Tace has been traveling the world exploring some unconventional medicinal approaches to treat the long COVID that he had and his chronic immune response syndrome. So I'm sure he's ready to play. I would love for those two back. I know it won't happen, even if it's just for one season. And I know you want to develop youngsters, but what better way to develop youngsters than to have them play along the icons of this organization? Icons who's, well, we know Patrick Kane can still play, but there's a way that Jonathan Tace has gone about his business while he's been in this league. And if you get that same work ethic, that same mindset that Jonathan Tace has, and he's able to instill in these youngsters, in a Connor Bedard, in a Frankie Nazar, in the rest of these young stars, these young players, this team is going to be really good, really fast. But the Blackhawks won't do it. You know why? Because they're stuck on, they say they want development. I get it. I understand completely. However, there's a situation that's priceless when you have superstars, Hall of Famers from your organization mentoring the new young talent of the organization. A passing of the guard, so to speak. Passing of the torch, a changing of the guard, a passing of the torch, so to speak. You don't think Connor Bedard would learn a lot from Patrick Kane? Are you kidding me? You don't think anyone else is going to learn from Jonathan Tace? Are you kidding me? To have those two in the building, on the ice, in the locker room, at practice, and watch how these guys go about their business, to get these guys attacking their going about their business the way Hall of Famers go about their business, is going to put them on a direct path to success. But they're going to tell you, oh, we got guys to develop, we got this, we got that. Hey, you know what? For a year. We're nowhere near winning the Stanley Cup right now. But you know what? Get these guys developed for a year. All right, Connor Bedard needs it. Connor Bedard needs it. He needs to be around a superstar who's in the same position as him, the number one overall pick. And if you don't think that holds water, you're crazy. To have a guy who was number one overall pick by the Blackhawks years ago go on to become league MVP, three-time Stanley Cup champion, should be 4. And you don't think you can learn from him? Come on, man. That's a match made in heaven. Go get Patrick Kane. Go sign Jonathan Tace. Again, for only a year. But they won't do it. So you want more people who want to develop? Do you want more people who want to develop? I understand that. Or do you want your superstars to be at a high level where now they can teach all the youngsters, the two guys, the two roster spots that they take up, those two youngsters, they'll be able to be mentored by Patrick Kane and a Frankie Nazar and the other youngsters that'll be here the majority of the season. They'll be able to be mentored. Why? Because this is coming right from Taze and Kane. But no. You guys are crazy. Next top of the morning topic. Conference finals. The Western Conference Finals. The Oklahoma City Thunder blew it out. They blew them out. That's BLEWDEM. Blew them out. They destroyed the Minnesota Timberwolves on Wednesday, 124-94. 94 points. 30-point victory. Ouch. They went on to win the series 4-1 in advance to the NBA Finals, which begin the 5th, June 5th, Thursday. So you have the Western Conference representative and the Eastern Conference still has to play out. They played last night. Indiana was up 3-1 going back to New York. Remember, they won the first 2 in New York. They lost game 3. They won game 4 in Indianapolis. So they're back at game 5 in New York trying to complete the gentleman's sweep. But the New York Knicks weren't having it. In the Eastern Conference Finals in game 5, the New York Knicks beat the Indiana Pacers 111-94. Indiana now leads that series 3-2. Game 6 is back in Indianapolis. That game is Saturday. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Central. It's on T. And listen, New York has to win 1 game. If I'm Tom Thibodeau, I'm saying, listen, we need 1 game. It's all we need. That's the only thing. We need to win 1 game. We've won in Indianapolis already in this series. We can do it again. We need to focus on 1 game on Saturday, tomorrow. That's what we need. We ain't worried about game 7. Game 6 is it. Win or go home. We don't even worry. That's not even in our thought process. Game 7. We were everything all in on game 6. Go into Indianapolis. Take out the Pacers on their home court. Then you come back to the final. This is a must-win for Indiana. Must win. If the Pacers lose and they got to go back to New York. Now, mind you, they won 2 games there already. But what it shows is they're unable to close. You had a chance yesterday to close. You didn't do it. You have a chance tomorrow to close. If you don't do it, sphincters tighten. Sphincters tighten. Let me tell you, because now you've lost 2 in a row, and now it's a 1-game set. 1 game decides it all, winner take all, and it's in New York. And if you thought the Garden, Madison Square Garden, was rocking yesterday, woo, Charlie. Wait till Monday. Game 7. Wait. That place is going to be out of control. This is the first time the Pacers are trying to get back to the finals since 2000? No, 2012. I'm sorry. And the Knicks are trying to get back to the finals since 1999. Years. That's the year after Michael. They went on and faced Hakeem Olajuwon and got swept in the final. No, they didn't get swept. That was Houston. Houston over Orlando. Game 7. John Starks couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat in the finals. Couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. A lot of New York fans have never forgiven him for that poor performance in Game 7. Man, someone forgot to tell Minnesota there was a game that night. Man, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. Cornelius says, Cat has to stay in the paint and stop giving stupid fouls. You know what? This is why we love Charles Barkley. Did anyone see the post game? Because Cat came and sat with Shaq, Ernie, Kenny, and Charles. He came and sat with them post game, and they were talking. It was funny because they were talking. Cat came in sandals and slides. Already taking his shoes off, undid his tape, so he had his shoes. No shoes. He had sandals on, his slides. And they asked him a whole bunch of last question that Charles asked. And I love this. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is why I love doing what I do. And I ask questions the way I ask them because sometimes you just need to get right to the point. Charles said, why do you keep taking stupid fouls? Why do you keep taking stupid fouls? And Cat was like, he's like, it goes. Cat's like, you're right. He's like, yeah, he goes, it put your team at a disadvantage. He goes, because then you got to put in Robinson, and they'll hack a Robinson, and he can't hit free throws. So they foul him, maybe make 1 out of 2, and then they get the ball back. Hit a 3. Now they gain 2 points on that exchange. Do it again. Maybe he doesn't hit any. Hit another 3. Now that's 3. They gain 3 points on that exchange. And Cat's off the court. And Cat said, he goes, you're not wrong. He goes, it hurts my team. And Charles just came at him, kept it a buck. Kept it a buck. Said that same, why are you playing those stupid fouls? Cat said, I got to do better. So, yeah, Cornelius, if he stays in, and I hate when he goes to the hole because he's a freight train. And he can't stop. He can't maneuver. He's not quick or agile enough to like spin and take and sidestep. Somebody steps up and take a charge. He's running through him. He's running through him. So great question by Charles Barkley last night. And Karl Anthony Towns knew it. He knows it. He knows it. Stop hurting your team. Stop doing that dumb shit. Stupid fouls. Pushing. Reaching. Levette Leach checking in. What's up, Ma? How are you? He said, what's up, Sean? She says, thank you, Ma. Appreciate you. Brooke Gonzalez. Cat reminds me of Rasheed Wallace. Yeah, he's a little more nimble, or he goes to the hole a little more. It's a little more athletic. Looks silly, goofy. But yeah, I can see that. Agree, Cornelius. You keep him inside, and it's a mismatch. You keep him inside, it's a mismatch, and someone's got to collapse. And when they do, and what they've been doing, they've been setting someone from the weak side. So when he gets that ball, puts it on the ground, you got to look behind you because there's someone coming from the other side to double team you. Hit the open man, wide open 3. Hit the open man, they rotate. That guy who gets the pass from Cat can find the open man, get a wide open 3. You do that once or twice and hit a 3, that shit's going to stop. That's just going to stop, and then what's going to happen is going to be Cat one-on-one in the blocks. I'll take that all day long because he's going to get fouls. He's going to draw fouls, get guys in foul trouble, and then what are you going to do? You're going to bring in your backup center? Then again, you can't double team him because he's passing out to open shooters on the perimeter, knocking them down. You can't keep giving teams open 3s. Not in the Eastern Conference Finals. Can't do it. And what that does, that slows the game down. And the Pacers don't play well. Yesterday was the first time that the Indiana Pacers in this playoffs did not score 100 points. First time. That's crazy. Indiana needs to be running up and down the court when Halliburton is at his best when they're running up and down the court. But when you do that and you go inside the Cat, and this is playoff basketball, it slows down. Only team I ever saw that did that and still win was the Golden State Warriors. But they played great defense, and that's what kickstarted their running. Great defense. No one forgets about how good their defense was. They were the top defense back in 14 or 15, 16, whenever they were winning their titles. Well, damn, it's like 10 years ago. Everyone looked at the offense as the top offense in the NBA. Yes, but they had one of the top defenses. I think one year they had the best defense in the NBA. Everyone just looked at the shooting, at the Splash Brothers, at Steph and Clay. But the defense is what started it. Defense, boxing out, rebounds, kick it out. Now we're running. That's the only team that I've ever seen run up and down the court in the Eastern Conference Finals and in the finals. Because playoff basketball is slow down, half-court basketball. Up to this point, Oklahoma City, OKC's been in and the Pacers have been able to run up and down the court. But when you slow the game down, and whatever they do is wrong, you can't double team and someone not be open. This doesn't happen. You only got 5. If they double team one, there's someone else left open. And your cat's got to find that person. And you do that, you nail a couple threes. As I said, now they stop blitzing you and double teaming you. Now cat can go to work down low. Because I'm tired of, it's all Jalen Brunson and Cat. Jalen Brunson and Cat, which is fine. But how they use Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, is definitely in need of an upgrade. Oh, hell yeah. You're right. Peyton and Supersonic were the same way, man. He used to run up and down. Ooh, that was the original Lob City. That was the original Lob City. Gary Payton and Rain Man, Sean Kemp, when he didn't have, as he was getting his 6, 8, 10 baby mamas. I don't know how many kids he got. Man. Rick, best end of the 90s, Sean. I'm going to say Hakeem all day. So many good ones to choose from. I miss 90s basketball. Yeah, Hakeem. Hakeem and then Shaq. Because Shaq got schooled by Hakeem, remember, in 94? In 94 when I'm sorry, 95. Remember 95 when the Orlando Magic beat the Bulls when Mike had come back? And Shaq went to school. He got schooled by Hakeem Olajuwon. Shaq was the most powerful, dominant center in the game. Couldn't hold Hakeem Olajuwon was so nimble, so quick, so sudden. Gave him the up and under fake. Great footwork. Because I don't know if you knew this, but Hakeem played soccer as a kid. So his footwork is great. Always on balance. Very quick, very sudden. Great fakes. And Hakeem used Shaq's aggressiveness against him. The pump fakes. Shaq was dominant. Shaq wanted to toss that shit in the first row. And Hakeem would just work him down, work him on, give him the Hakeem shake, the dream shake. Whoop. This way, turn around. Give a little half, turn around, up, under. Get Shaq up in the air, go underneath him. And one. Then he had the fadeaway going back at 6'10", fading away. It's tough to block that. I agree, Hakeem. And not Hakeem from Coming to America. Hakeem, where is my son? King Book of World is just stupid. Says Kemp can have 11 on 11 football games with his shorties. That's the damn truth, dog. I'm telling you. Here's the thing. Condom. C-O-N-D-O-M. Condom. My man Lucky Lefty said the offense should be running through Cat, but Brunson is a waste of space without the ball. Well, I think Brunson needs to be a lot more in shape. I think Brunson, you go through Cat and have Brunson run off these screens. Have Brunson run off these screens and run off 2 or 3 screens every rip. Takes some excellent conditioning. He needs to holler at Reggie. He needs to holler at Rip Hamilton. He needs to holler at Ray Allen. Like, what did you do back in the day when you ran off? What was your off-season training routine to get in shape? Because if you do that and you got Brunson coming off screens wide open, looking at wide open threes, or you're chasing him, now he's up and under, now he's faking, cutting to the hole and causing havoc. But I'll tell you what, it's working. It works to a certain extent. It's been working because they've given up a couple of big leads. got to go. It'd be much better if it went through Cap. I agree. Cat, I agree, Lucky. Rick, you're a fool. Sean Kemp's kids versus Tyreek Hill's kids would be something. Cornelius Squall, the dream of school and all those centers in the 90s. He was. Patrick Ewing, Rick Smits. Who else? Alonzo Mourning. Ostertag. You think of all the good centers back then. Rick says Silky Smooth was Akeem. Yes, he was, Doctor. He had phenomenal footwork. Phenomenal footwork, and that was, man. Honey Lucky says, next to Joker, Kaz, the most skilled big man out there today. Yeah, and he's just goofy. Like, they're both goofy. And klutzy, like, doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. But, man, their footwork is good. It's just like they're so heavy. But they got it down. They know how to control their body. Yeah, not forget the Admiral. Akeem took him to school as well. Well, listen, we got to take a quick break because on the other side of the break, we're going to welcome my man, Zack Pearson. We're going to talk Bears. The Bears are back at OTAs. The press had access, had availability on Wednesday to be out there watching. We're going to talk to Zach, who's out there checking out the interviews. And we're going to talk about the whole Caleb situation. We're going to talk about this whole Caleb situation. Finally got in front of the mic. All right. And a lot of things were put in the open. This is why we had to hear from him. All right. How many times did I say, why? I can't believe he didn't know how to watch film. I said, I couldn't believe he didn't know how to watch film. I know his high school coach. He and I went to college together. I know he knows how to watch film. That gets cleared up. Okay. A lot of things got cleared up. And that's what we needed. Cornelius, Cat is nowhere near Joker. No. But he is still very skilled. Let's not get it twisted. Just because he's nowhere near as skilled as Joker doesn't mean he's not skilled. Let's not get it twisted. He's a one skilled big man. The Joker is head and shoulders above all the rest, but Cat still does work. Let's not get that twist. All right, listen. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to welcome Zack Pearson again. Talking on, we'll play it and let you know make a quick announcement of the announcement that I had to start the show. So listen, don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Sean Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Good to see everybody back. So let's get this started. First, let's start off with it is what everybody would love to ask about is this whole storm that happened. It wasn't something that we wanted to happen at this point. We're focused on the present. We're focused on now. We're focused on trying to get this ship moving in the right direction. And I think so far that's what we've been doing. But for this to come out, it's been a distraction. So coming up here and talking about it and addressing it is important today. And so that's what we're here to do.
Shawn Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. That clip courtesy of the Chicago Bears. As you saw, the news that we had made, the name of the show is changing to Shawn Sierra Sports. Man, it's going to be fun. I'm excited about it. Maya's off doing her thing, man. She's killing it, and she works in mental health, and man, she is doing phenomenal things over there. And man, just wish her the best. But we're going to keep going, moving forward, talking sports, and giving you top-notch, my opinion, my personal and professional opinion on everything. We're going to keep going, man. I'm fired up about it. We're going to have a lot more cool things going on. As I said, we're probably going to have an extra Bears show where I break down film and talk to someone. Trust me, I know how to watch film by myself. I know what to look for. So we'll have that and a lot of other things. We got some swag coming out, some Shawn Sierra Sports and some sports. We got that in the works. That should be out soon. So a lot of good things coming. A lot of good things coming in the near future. But my first guest today, I'm excited to talk to him. He was at Hallis Hall the last couple weeks. The last 2 times they only had access 1 day a week, but he was there. I want to get a feel from him on camp this year. All right, what he saw, what he liked, what he didn't like. And you know him. He's a good friend of the program. He's running things over the report, like 6 other publications. He's like head man in charge over there. You can find him on Twitter at Zack_Pearson. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn Maya, Zack Pearson. Zack, what's up, Papa? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm fired up. Great workout this morning. Got a busy weekend this weekend. Summertime shy's kicking in, so time to get it crack-a-lacking, man. I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah, finally some nice weather, hopefully.
Yes. Patios, rooftops. I got a birthday party to go to tonight.
Nice.
House festival either tonight or tomorrow. Family party tomorrow. Maybe just some brunch on Sunday. So it's kicking, man. It's going. So
yeah, enough of this 50-degree weather stuff.
And then next week is going to hit 90.
Yeah.
Ooh, Charlie. I like that kind of party. So good stuff. But you were there. You were up at Hallis Hall. Talk to me. What are you liking about what's different this year at camp than last year? And do you like it? Do you like it a lot?
Yeah. Yes, I've been there the last 2 weeks. Obviously, there's only 2 days, 1 day a week that you're allowed access. But they do practice the 3 days a week, maybe 4, I want to say. Obviously the big differences that I've kind of seen so far is just the coaching, not only Ben Johnson, but, the assistant coaches and how they're getting on guys and how they're talking through the drills with guys and the vocal, how vocal they are. And how Ben Johnson's not just paying attention to just the offense. He's moving around. He's looking at the defense. He's looking at the tight ends, safeties, defensive backs, all that stuff. Eric Bieniemy, very, very vocal. Watching him coach up these drills has just been awesome. Antoine Randall, I watched a little bit of that with the wide receiver drills. And it's not like, he's only coaching Roma Dunze and DJ Moore, but he's coaching guys that are backups. He's coaching guys that, we're not going to see next year, that are just here camp bodies, essentially. No offense to them, but they're coaching up everyone. So that's kind of been the biggest difference. Ben Johnson's mentioned the details, and he wants them to have the details ironed out before they get out there for training camp. And we've seen it twice now. He got on Cole Kmet pretty loud last week when we were indoors, and then this week, he dropped an F-bomb when they were struggling to line up the first team offense at the offensive line, made them get back into the huddle, do it all again. He was frustrated. He voiced that. I think the coaching and, not to say that, some of these coaches last year weren't doing this, but, when you have a new staff, I'm always interested to see how the operation is and how they work together. Cause they're, a lot of these guys haven't coached together. Ben Johnson did bring over Antoine Randall, but, he wasn't with Al Harris. Al Harris was in Dallas. So Eric Bieniemy was in Kansas City, and then, he went to Washington and in UCLA. So it's kind of cool to see how they all kind of mix in this short time already.
Zach, I don't remember who the guy was. He was a very intelligent dude, very intelligent gentleman who at one point said coaching matters. And I can't remember his name, but he had to be a very smart individual to come up with that slogan, because it's so true. And to see these guys, and that's what we're hearing across the board, is the intensity, the coaching. And like you said, everybody's getting that smoke.
Yeah.
Starters, backups, mugs who ain't even going to be here, they're all getting it. And you know what? That's what you want, because that's what you want. As a coach, your job is to coach that position, because you don't know what happens. What if someone gets hurt and the guy who's not going to be here ends up bumping up to be a backup? You know what I mean? So everyone's getting that smoke. Everyone's getting the attention. Everyone. Jimmy Johnson said this, and I love this quote. He said, "I treat everyone fairly. I don't treat everyone equally."
Yeah. Oh, that's good. And it's right too. I mean, like, even the guys, that are probably not going to make the roster, the 53-man roster, they're getting this valuable coaching and what they're doing wrong to get a shot to go on a practice squad or maybe make another roster, or, if they go to a different league, it all helps them. So yeah, it's cool to see how they all kind of mesh with, the coaching staff. And it's kind of refreshing, because there's a lot of talent on this team. And I think last year their coaching cost them a couple games. We got to be real about it. They lost a couple games because of coaching, and it all spiraled, and it was just a mess. So yeah, it's just been cool to see how Ben Johnson's kind of had these guys in, and, it's install. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be interceptions. There's going to be nice plays. To me, I tell people this, I have to report this stuff. I'm there. It's my job. But I wouldn't panic about anything, and I wouldn't be like, if there was a good day by the offense, I wouldn't be like, okay, they're going 17-0 in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of install stuff, it's a lot of OTAs. It just kind of sets the table for next week, and then the appetizer, and then, you get to training camp in July. Now, if this stuff's happening in July and August, I think there'd be some concerns there.
So Caleb, get out in front of it. Talk to me about what you thought about his response. And he knew it. A lot of people were on it. A lot of people, some even in the chat, said it's a non-issue. I disagreed. I thought it was an issue. Give me your thoughts on the whole situation of his the excerpts coming out from the book. And the reason I felt he had to speak on it because it was we were unsure of what he said and what his dad said.
Yeah.
Because everything we're thinking Caleb said. Now Caleb might have said that to his dad.
Yeah.
Caleb may have not said it to Seth Wickersham. And first of all, my question is, why are you even giving this guy quotes when you know it's going to be out? But your thoughts on him addressing it and that whole situation in general?
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting time because it comes out right before OTAs. We heard from Caleb once or twice this offseason before this. But going back to the pre-draft process with Caleb, I mean, Colin Cowherd pretty much reported this.
Yeah, he
did. He pretty much said it, and everyone kind of shot it down. And this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. And
Colin, and he was on point, man.
He's out there. He was out there in LA. He knows the Williams families around the USC program. Now, I'm kind of with you. Like I think it was an issue. I also don't think it was as crazy of an issue because we knew some of it. I think the new stuff was really interesting about the whole Vikings thing. Loving Kevin O'Connell and what they have, but no duh. I mean, you go into the Viking situation, you have Kevin O'Connell, who is a quarterback, whisperer and one of the best quarterback coaches, quarterback type coaches in the league. You have Justin Jefferson, a true number one wide receiver. Caleb played with Jordan Addison at USC. So yeah, that kind of made sense to me. You also heard the stuff about after he met with the Bears and it changed his mind. Like, yeah, I want to do this. So I think a lot of it was important. I get the debate of, last week, should he have talked? I think he should have talked right away because I think the more it lingers, the more it hurts everyone involved. You know what I mean? Like if he would have just come out and said this statement last week, I think everyone would have been like, okay, we're done. But then you get a whole nother week of, ESPN talking heads trying to pile on the kid and trying to pile on the Bears because they need that quarterback to pile on to. They need that big market team to pile on to. Just kind of, to me, I don't think the Bears did him a good service or anything. Like I think they put him in a bad position, not letting him talk last week. But this is also the same franchise that let Matt Eberflus talk an hour and a half before he got fired. Like, so nothing surprises me. I don't blame Caleb for that. I think Caleb, probably wanted to talk. And I think Caleb probably wanted, to get ahead of this, but he doesn't control who meets the media. As for the statement on Wednesday, very well done. I have no issue with it. It all makes sense to me. I'm not going to, I said this when the article came out. It's not going to make me think one way or the other of Caleb Williams, honestly. I think he was right. This is a franchise that's never had a 4,000-yard passer. This is a franchise that quarterbacks have, failed here. And whether it's the quarterback play or just a franchise in general, it's been a mess. And what he went through last week, Shane Waldron and Matt Eberflus, and both them getting fired, and then the whole watching film thing, and then having Thomas Brown goes from your quarterback coach to your offensive coordinator to your head coach within a 4 or 5 week span. So I don't have a problem with what Caleb said. I think he addressed it pretty head on. I think he was, he was honest about it, and I think he got his point clear. Like, he wants to be here. If he didn't want to be here, he would have been gone. He would have forced his way out. He wants to be here. He wants to change this thing around. So I have no issue with this. I get the frustration, of how the article has been a talking point. And I could see both sides to it. I could see the frustrations why, but I could also see why he should have talked and why it should have got ahead of it. But I don't think, the Bears did him any favors in this.
Yeah, guys, we're joined by Zack Pearson. He's the Bears beat writer for BearReport.com, talking Bears football here on Shawn Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Here, we're going to take a quick listen to what Caleb said when about wanting to be the guy, which is that you see the caption on our background.
Through all of, what was, going on, through all of what happened in last year and previous years, I think I think that was enticing. I think that was something that was glaring to me, that I wanted to come here and be the guy and be a part and be a reason on why Chicago Bears turn this thing around. So that last thing that was said and all of that, I think, was the most important thing, is that I wanted to be here, that I love being here, I love my teammates, I love all the people that got me here, family, friends, Ryan, Kevin.
So to me, that said, that made that statement was one that I hung my hat on. All right. I wanted to be here. Okay. I wanted to be here. And obviously, like you said, if he didn't want to be here, he wouldn't have been. They would have gone about, the things that they had talked about, the smear campaign, the legal route, going to UFL, all the things that they had talked about, him and his dad. They probably would have taken advantage of it, but he said, no, I want to come here. That speaks volumes, because he's not stupid. He understands how dismal they haven't developed a quarterback in the last 50 freaking years. All right. Look what they did to Justin. Look what they did to Mitch. Look what they did to Cutler. All these quarterbacks, and Cutler to me was a stud.
Yeah.
You can't have 6 offensive coordinators in 8 years.
Yeah.
They
got rid of his best friend too, for essentially nothing.
For no reason, because he doesn't fit my scheme, Mike Martz.
Yeah.
So, obviously he understands the thing, but for him to say, I want to be here, that gives me I have a lot more respect for him, because it is a daunting task. And a lot of his fears were realized last year with the whole situation. His offensive coordinator fired, his head coach fired, the passing game coordinator, then the offensive coordinator, then the head coach. And all that, it was crazy. And yet he still put up really okay. And to me, again, I have a lot more respect for him after hearing him come out and talk about it. Excuse me, because there were just too many questions.
Yeah.
Anything you saw on the defensive side from Dennis Allen that has you a little fired up?
I honestly, this might be a little bit of a generic answer, but I love how he coaches and the intensity he brings to his defense and the intensity that he expects from his defense. He's not out here just constantly barking at guys or anything like that, but you could just tell they're going to play physical. They're going to play fast. They're going to want to, they want to force takeaways. They want to get up in the quarterback's grill. So I just like what Dennis Allen's kind of doing with his scheme. I think it's going to fit really well. In terms of any players who said, Tremaine Edmonds looked good on Wednesday, had the interception, then had a tipped pass that led to an interception that Jaquan Brisker got. Actually, Jaquan Brisker looks like the safety we've seen him be. He's out there. He's back. He hasn't spoken yet. I'm kind of curious to hear what he has to say about what happened last year, because I kind of feel like there's some other things that we don't know, or we don't fully know the whole situation. So I'm kind of curious to hear about that and how he went through things, because he was on the sideline for all of that, last year. But yeah, no, I think look at this defense. I'm really intrigued by this competition at linebacker 3. Noah Sewell, Amen, Ruben Hippolyte. Hippolyte's fast. I just have a couple concerns about his overall technique and tackling and things like that, but he is fast. He can get to the quarterback. Noah Sewell's a guy that's going to contribute on special teams as well. So yeah, defensively, I like their mantra. I like how Dennis Allen wants them to play physical and wants them to play with that intensity. Quote unquote violent in a way.
Yeah, I want him to be violent too. And we haven't talked since the draft, I don't believe.
Yeah. Guys, this draft's already been a month away.
Isn't that crazy? Literally over a month.
Yeah,
it's like
I know.
5 weeks. That's crazy. Time flies when you're having fun, huh?
Man.
So give me your thoughts on our first round, our first round pick, Colston Loveland. A lot of people thought the kid Tyler, the kid out of Penn State was the guy.
Yeah.
And Bears went a little different route. They went Colston Loveland. Give me your thoughts on Bears selecting him as a first tight end. Tyler Warren, that's the kid's name, instead of Colston Loveland.
I was surprised, honestly, because I thought it was going to be Tyler Warren if they went tight end there. Nothing against Coastal, although I just thought I was just with everyone else, and I thought it'd be, Tyler Warren. But looking at it since then, looking at the tape, watching Colston Loveland, I think he fits more of what the Bears want in their tight end in Ben Johnson's offense. He got the comparison to Sam Laporta, who was with Ben Johnson for a couple years in Detroit. I think he's a more natural pass catcher. And his stats were down in Michigan, but you watched Michigan last year, you could pick any game and you'll see the quarterback missing open guys. They just did not have a good quarterback. That's just what it was. Once McCarthy left, it was, it was pretty blah. And they became a run heavy team. I think Lovell will fit well. I think he'll be a good complement to, him and Cole Kmet would be good complements to each other. I think he'll be the more of the receiving guy to start off with. The thing about him though, is he's hurt right now. He's still recovering from that surgery. And I'm not panicky or worried about it. But I do get a little PTSD when guys that are rookies miss time in the offseason.
Yeah.
As a rookie, you're already behind. That's just the reality of the NFL. You're already behind. You can work as hard as you want, but you're still going to be behind until those games start. If you miss training camp, you're even more behind. I mean, look at Kieran Amagaji last year. He missed training camp and struggled. I hate Kevin White. I mean, I'm not saying this is Coastal Loveland's Kevin White, but we kept hearing Kevin White, soft tissue. And then the next thing you know, it's, well, yeah, he's got a pretty serious leg injury, and he's probably not going to play at all. So I don't think it's there yet for Coastal Loveland. He will be at training camp. He's been at the building. I've seen him. He hasn't done anything. He's doing more of the mental stuff now, like kind of going through the playbook, the reps while they're out there, things like that. I hope he's ready for training camp. Because I really like what he could bring. I don't want to say he's going to be Brock Bowers. I think Brock Bowers is a crazy unicorn type of tight end. But he kind of gives him more of a Brock Bowers feel than Tyler Warren does in terms of his receiving ability. I'm looking forward to what he can do once he gets out there.
And here's the thing, though, is he doesn't have to be Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers was the only offensive force that the Raiders had.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
No.
And that's the great part about it. Is they're not, you have to come in saying, oh shit, I got to get 800 plus yards. It's not it.
Yeah.
Right? You have DJ Moore, you have Rome Odunze, you have Luther Burden, who also doesn't have to worry about being the top guy because you got DJ Moore and Rome Odunze. You have a chance to come in, slide in, okay? And I wouldn't say fly under the radar, but man, obviously you gotta if anyone gets double teamed or shaded, it's toward DJ Moore.
Yep.
Now that leaves advantage most likely to Rome Odunze. He's an advantage to Luther Burden, and then tight ends. I mean, because you can't if you're gonna shade, you can't shade anyone else except DJ Moore.
Yeah.
You can't do that. There's just no way. And no disrespect to Rome. Rome's not there yet. DJ's a guy who's done it. 1,000 yards. He made 6,000 yards, almost 7,000 yards in 7 seasons. Come on, man. This dude is a stud, legit stud. Yeah. You have to go to him. Opens up the doors, and I think it's going to help them not being the main focal point of this offense. And I think that allows them to grow, allows them to make mistakes. Okay, because all right, you're covered, you ran the wrong route. I got other guys, I got veterans who are playmakers that I can go to, and we can still be successful. So I like that. The more tape I watch of Colston Loveland, I love it. And they said they started recruiting him, or they started doing work on him 2 years ago, which made sense.
Yeah.
And they won the national championship, and you had a quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. You saw what he could do. You're like, oh, shit, this guy's coming out. If, this year, next year, I think he had to wait till this year. Man, this guy comes out, we might have a chance to get him. And they loved it. And you talked about this, the quarterback situation was bad, so I was happy with it. What about that freaking, how big is that dude, man? Ozzie Trapillo. He looks like a freaking, oh my God, there's a picture of him on the coach. The coach is like this. Look at him.
Yeah, he's a big guy, man. He's tall, he's huge. He is, he's I'm keeping my eye on him too, because he's getting, they split the first team reps obviously with Kieran last week, and now Ozzie got it this week. So that's kind of a battle. And Ben Johnson talked about it. When Braxton comes back, there'll be a little bit, musical chairs. They'll try to find the right guy at left tackle. But when you draft Ozzie Trapillo, second round, I believe he was, you're expecting him to contribute right away. Those are valuable picks. Like you don't want to waste a second round pick and not have him contribute right away. So yeah, it wouldn't shock me if he was right there, wins the job, or comes really close, being the backup. I'm very interested to watch him, and because I think he's a very smart football player. I think there's a couple limitations he might have in terms of technique, but I think he's very smart. I think having some smart in you can help you get by some of those limitations as well.
Did you notice, someone else had mentioned, I wanted to see if you noticed it as well, that he's a knee bender and he doesn't bend at the waist because he's tall. He's 6'8". Yeah. He's a freaking monster. And you look at it, and when you bend it, if you're a waist bender, okay, that throws your balance off because now your weight's over your toes. Okay, it's easy for a push-pull. It's easy for a swim. It's easy for a lot of things for defensive ends to get around you. I've heard from a few people, and I want to see if you noticed it, that he was a knee bender. Where in the fact that he bends, he squats at the knee and not at the waist, which allows him to be on balance more and allow him to take and deal with push, pull, swim, rips, spins, and all these other things because he's on balance.
I haven't really noticed anything like that at practice. It's also really tough because, they're going against the defensive line, but it's not what it is in pads.
Full go. Got you.
Yeah, it's not full go. I feel like in these practices, you're more hand fighting, blocking with your hands a little bit more than anything else. From what we can see, because we're always at weird angles too. Like we don't get to follow the play essentially all the way down. So no, I haven't really seen that just yet. But it's interesting. I will take a look at that when the training camp comes around. Maybe I'll go back and watch some Boston College film. I talked to someone who covered him at Boston College, and they literally had nothing but great things to say about him. They think he's going to be a starting left tackle in this league or right tackle eventually.
I like the fact what I've been reading was that he's got a little bit of an attitude, and I like that. I like that a lot. And we had a guy like that in Tevin Jenkins. Unfortunately, he just couldn't stay healthy. But if you get a guy like that, when you get a guy like that, and he looks like a nice dude, just a real smiley guy. Like he don't look hardened or jaded. You know what I mean? Like some guys
look
baby
like face.
You come from the hood and you look like, oh shit, I'm not gonna mess with him. He looks just like a nice guy. But man, it seems like from a lot of accounts, he flips that switch, and it's similar to remember Eric Williams, the guy on the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah,
that dude was. Troy Aikman. That was and Emmitt Smith. That was one of the best offensive lines in the history of the game.
Yeah.
Because they had dudes who were athletic across the board, from Eric Williams to Larry Allen to Stepnowski to Nate Newton. Did I say Larry Allen? Allen and Newton.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? All those guys, all of them had an attitude. And this is what you want. If he wins that job, how great would that be that your backup is the guy who started in the NFL for 3 years? How great would that, to talk about depth, that's great. So I'm looking forward to see how that plays out. Because to me, that's the most important thing. The heck with Caleb. Caleb, we saw what happened last year. Caleb had, and my guy is a big Caleb guy, Mr. Shorty. Caleb had 30. I'm going back to look. He had 3,541 yards, 20 tutties, and 6 picks. That's with a shitty offensive line getting sacked 675 times.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine if he doesn't get sacked 675 times, where those numbers can be. And that's what's exciting to me, because if that happens, that run game gets going. And if that run game gets going, holy cow. Speaking of the run game, give me your thoughts on Kyle Monangai, and do you think they're going to go bring another running back into the fold?
I don't think so. I think they're comfortable with what they have. And unless it's like a trade for someone like, I know everyone's talking about Nick Chubb and guys like that. I liked both the Seattle guys. I thought if you trade Kenneth Walker or Zach Charbonnet, I probably would have gone that route. I don't think they're going to bring anyone in. I think they're pretty set. We know they wanted to trade up. They really liked Travion Henderson, but he went right before to the Patriots. So I think it's going to be I think it's going to be Swift. They got to have a steady dose of Monangai Roshan Johnson. I'm sure maybe, Travis Homer would probably make this roster for just due to special teams value. But yeah, Swift's going to be the lead back. Manungai's going to be interesting. I think he'll be battling with Roshan Johnson a little bit for those second string carries. But I'm really kind of curious to see how they use Roshan and if he can stay healthy, because he's had, the injury past 2 years. Can be kind of more of a punishing back when needed if they utilize him right. And then with Manungai, watching him on tape, I like how tough he is. He's kind of like a wrecking ball in there. Really good at pass protection. Does not shy away from contact at all. Will hit you, and I like that. I think that's kind of what they want. Now, do they have what the Lions had with Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs? I don't think so. That's a pretty damn good 1-2. But I think they have a good enough stable of backs where they can kind of make it work between them.
You think Manungai gets a lot of carries because of his pass pro? That's the one thing that'll get you on the field. And I'm telling you from experience as a running back, you can't pass pro. I don't give a shit. Sorry, homie. We got guys that run the ball. You can pass pro, and he can.
It will get you. Yeah, it'll get you definitely more playing time. But if he's in there to pass pro, he's in there to pass pro too. So I don't think he's going to get, 60, 70, 80 carries.
Okay.
20, 30 might be that sweet spot. It could change though. If he gets a chance early and like you said, he's really good at pass protection and gets more reps, yeah, they could change. But I still think Swift will be the lead guy. And I'll probably, if Roshan stays healthy, he'll probably have more. But I think Manungai's a guy you could definitely not redshirt, but not throw him in the fire right away just yet, if that kind of makes sense, where he has to take on the big workload or anything like that.
Here's what I see. I see him getting a lot of time early, and here's why.
Okay.
His coach, Eric Sleeping with the Enemy, is on him.
Oh, yeah.
He's on him. He's on him big time. And what do you say? You look moving like an old ass man. was the clip we saw from Wednesday. He's on him. He's on him. He's pushing him. And I think that's an admiration, but I also think that's what you want coaches on you. You want coaches on with you. You want them in your ass because that means they're paying attention to you and they're watching you. And he's got a great resume. All right, he led the Big Ten in rushing, I think 2 years ago, and then and was pretty good last year. Okay, I think to me, he looked like in watching his film, he looked like Ashton Genty without speed.
Okay,
with a hell of a lot of that speed.
Yeah,
you can't hit him up high. You bounce off, and he just keeps going and going and going. And if that's the case, that in November and December when the weather gets nasty here, man, you want a guy. And here's the biggest thing: never fumbled in college.
Yeah,
never fumbled with the 600 carries he had. Didn't fumble. That is huge. Didn't fumble and pass pros like a champ. Those are things. That's a recipe for getting your ass on the field quick, fast, in a hurry. And I said the coup de grace, the buttermilk icing on the cake is that Eric Bieniemy's on him all the time.
Yeah,
and that's why I think he might get a lot more reps, more than a lot of people think. I'm not a big fan of Roshan Johnson. I wanted to be, but he just runs too scatterbrained, like he's looking for contact. Like he doesn't when he hits the hole, he doesn't hit the hole and go. He hits the hole and tries to see someone. He's like he's too lateral, too shaky. Like, dude, stop being shaky and get your ass through the hole. That bugs the hell out of me. But he's a tough guy. We need that short yard, that 1 or 2 yards. I like it, but I have a feeling that Manungai is going to get a lot of tick and probably gonna leapfrog Roshan Johnson.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think that's anything. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I don't know. I feel like with rookies we gotta give them a little bit of time, but we'll see. I think he'll definitely play a part in the offense.
Defensively, well, back to Shamar Turner. Give me your thoughts on him. How's he look good in shorts and a t-shirt? How's he looked? Because I like him. When he punched that dude in the nuts.
Yeah, that clip that went viral. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Give me a guy like that. First of all, stop getting blocked. But it happens. Offensive linemen will get you. You'll get them. They'll get you. It happens.
Yep.
I like guys who I have to draw back from the edge. Like, all right, you went too far. I don't want to have to push a guy to get there. I'd rather have to pull him back and reel him in. Give me your thoughts on how has he looked, because he's the guy I think is going to benefit the most from Grady Jarrett being there, because they're very similar. They're nasty, they're violent, and they have motors that just don't stop. They get to the running back or the quarterback, they get there in a not very good mood.
Yeah, I had them in for a pressure last week indoors. With the rotation on the offensive line, or our defensive line, I'm sorry. I think it's going to help them because he gets to learn from someone like Grady Jarrett. He gets to learn from Andrew Billings, Gervon Dexter. I like how he plays. Watching his film at Texas A&M, like I said, I go back to plays violent, plays physical. He's not, scared of anyone. He doesn't like offensive linemen. He told us that in his first draft press conference. So I like that guy on my team. I really like a guy that can have that nasty attitude in a way and kind of play physical. But yeah, no, I'm excited for him. So far, it's tough with the shorts and then the t-shirts, but I think as we go with training camp, he could be a guy that, could surprise early on and become a fan favorite out there.
Talk to me about what do you see what I'm seeing? And that is they're starting to get, I don't want to say jag back, but they're starting to get violent people on the offensive and defensive lines.
Yeah, which they should have been doing in the first place.
Kind of a crazy idea, huh?
Yeah, they should have been doing that in the first place because they kind of needed that violent play. I mean, they had Tevin Jenkins, but other than that, who else really on that line was kind of like that, offense or defense? There wasn't much. Yeah, I would have liked, to build the offensive line, defensive line from the start like that. But, they also don't want to take they don't want to take a risk. They don't want to take someone like Jalen Carter, who kind of has that mentality and, and can play physical like that. So, yeah, I would have preferred that earlier on, but I think they're starting to trend towards that. And I think Dennis Allen might be a reason why in the defensive line. You get a veteran like, Grady Jarrett, who's been around the league and play like that. I think that's a positive as well. So, yeah, I do think they are starting to kind of build like that.
And I think that's awesome if they do that because of it. It sets a tone. It sets the type. You get big guys who are violent and adamant about being disruptive. Man, that's just great for everybody. Give me your thoughts before I let you go. Give me your thoughts on Zah Frazier. He's a guy he's an interesting cat. He's kind of tall. He's kind of long, really fast, long and lanky, and kind of the type of guy you want if you're going to go man, which, we assume that Dennis Allen's going to do a little more. We know Jalen Johnson's got one side locked down, but does Tyreek Stevenson haven't had that other locked down, or is that a position that's up for debate?
No, I think Tyreek's got it right now.
Okay.
I'd be a little shocked if he didn't. I know the stuff last season, and there's talk this offseason about, him, potentially a spot being up for grabs. I think they're going to go with him in that second spot right now. With Zah Frazier, I think that's kind of a guy you're just taking a little bit of a chance on upside. Maybe sit back and learn a little bit from Jalen or Tyreek and kind of come in a pinch. They still have Josh Blackwell, who, can play at the nickel, can play on the outside. He's a valuable player out there. But yeah, with someone like Zah Frazier, I think you'll be waiting a little bit. You kind of, essentially drafted him on his traits, his physical, makeup, and that's totally fine too.
Okay. So he's a guy who may develop for
a
while. Someone gets hurt, he could fill in for a couple of weeks and gain some experience type of deal and move his way up. Because we still have Terrell Smith, don't we, from Minnesota?
Yeah, Terrell Smith too. Yep.
He's
dealing with an injury, but yeah, he'll be back out there.
Okay. Zach, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it, man. Every time you come on, I appreciate the time. But do me a big favor, before you go. Let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah, you can follow me at Zack Pearson, ZACK _Pearson on X, Twitter, whatever it is now. And then, yeah, you can just read my work on bearreport.com. You can follow Bear Report on Twitter. It's just Bear Report. Yeah, always a pleasure. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, love having you on, Papa. We'll talk soon.
Yeah.
Bear down, baby. Bear
See
down.
ya.
All righty. Guys, that's Zack Pearson from bearreport.com talking Bears football with your guy. I'm fired up. Man, I'm fired up, dude. Woo! It's the weekend, baby! And the Bears, we're talking football. You know, to deal with, and here's what people talk about. And Cornelius and Shorty are big Caleb guys. And I think here's the thing. For me, I don't think he had a bad year. I think he should have had and I understand, and here's what, he missed a lot of receivers. Right? There are plenty of times that he missed open receivers or try to force it to roam his guy. Okay. And when people said this is the best situation that a rookie quarter, number one overall pick has ever stepped into, what they meant was the weapons he had. So if you look at what he had, look what happened. He was sacked 675 times. Okay. And still had 3,500 yards. Well, that's because you're throwing to DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. Okay, Rome Odunze didn't throw the Cole Kmet. That's for damn sure. He was able to use those guys as they should have been used. Now, I anticipate him with this new offensive line. I anticipate him being a 4,000-yard passer. The Chicago Bears' first 4,000-yard passer, because he's got to do better with a offensive line. He's got to do better. Okay, throwing the ball away, and they're going to do better running the ball. Okay, they're going to do better running the ball. You run the ball. We all know how it works. You run the ball, and that game opens up big time. So my thing is, I want him to get more proficient and efficient in hitting checkdowns. I want him to get more proficient in hitting crossers. You don't have to go for the big play all the time. That was the thing that everyone yelled at Justin about. He's always going for the big play. Well, Caleb's got to understand, if you get a crosser, imagine Luther Burden coming across the field, a shallow cross, give it to him and go. Luther Burden, who led the NCAA in yards after catch, that's what you want to hit him. Rome Odunze, who led the NCAA in yards, period, the year before. There's no excuse now. There's no excuse. He doesn't get he's a rookie guy. He doesn't get he's got to learn the league guy. He doesn't get all this. He's had that. He took his lumps, and the areas that needed to be upgraded were upgraded. They brought in more weapons. They brought in protection. They added on the defensive side of the ball. No, Foster, not potential weapons. Weapons. Not potential weapons. Weapons. You don't draft a tight end, 9th, 10th overall, or 12th overall, excuse me, and have him be a potential weapon. He's going to be a weapon. So he's got to hit these tight ends. For some reason, he put Cole Kmet in the back of a milk cart, just wouldn't throw to him. The year after Cole Kmet has his career year. Got to hit these tight ends. So he's got everything now. He had a lot last year, but now the aspect he's got to take the singles and the doubles, and not always get to go for the home runs. Because guess what? Those singles and doubles, they move the sticks. Those singles and doubles, they keep the defense on the field a lot longer. Those singles and doubles, they fatigue and they allow you to get more plays. So now you can kind of see the more plays you run as a quarterback and as an offense, the offensive coordinator gets to see, the quarterback gets to see. Now I can see where your weakness is. Now I can see where you like to cheat. Now I can see who I can pick on. Now I can see who I can pick on. Okay? And that's got to improve. And if he does, This kid, and I said, it was never about Caleb's talent for me. Never, ever, ever questioned his talent. Never. Now he's got coaching. He's got receivers. He's got a lot better coaches. All right. You had the guy who ran the number one offense in the NFL. And he's bringing over bits and pieces to duplicate that same offense. Obviously, it's going to be built around Caleb's skill, but you got the Sam Laporta type in Colston Loveland. You got the DeAndre Swift in the Jahmyr Gibbs type role. You got Roschon Johnson or Kyle Monunga in the David Montgomery battering ram role. All right, you got Luther Burden in the Amon-Ra St. Brown role. He's got weapons. He's got an offensive line, an upgraded offensive line, a well-paid upgraded offensive line. A nice young tackle with a freaking attitude who likes to bury people. So, yeah. His rookie season was good. Could have been better. But under the circumstances, I don't think anyone could have done better under those circumstances that he had to deal with. Now that his circumstances have improved, those numbers should improve. And they upgraded. Here's the thing. They upgraded the defensive side of the ball. That's the awesome part. It's not just the offense. First of all, you get Billings back. That's an upgrade. You go get Grady Jarrett. That's a huge upgrade. Huge upgrade. Odengbo. Okay, then what about the step up, the step forward for Austin Booker? His defense, and you got Tyreek Stevens. Tyreek Stevenson's got a lot to prove. He's got a lot to prove. I don't care what he says. Last year was last year, and don't give me that shit. You understand you made an ass out of yourself. You made an ass out of yourself, and you started that 10-game losing streak. Started that shit. He needs to have a big year. And then you still got Terrell Smith. You got Zay Frazier. Or you got Zah Frazier. Guys who are challenging for that spot. You better have a breakout year. Because if you have a breakout year, guess what? Now we have 2 Pro Bowl cornerbacks. Lucky. I agree. Great move by Ben Johnson was bringing in a veteran QB like Case Keenum to add to that room. I couldn't agree more. And they talked about it. They talked about their ability to talk and to learn after hours. All right, the collective bargaining agreement limits the coaches have access to their players. But there's no limit on how many hours players can be with players. There's no limit. So you get a guy, a veteran, who can pick up the system, and not even necessarily the system, just talk to me about this situation. What about that situation? In a cover 2, cover 3, in a robber situation, in a cover 4. All right, there's so many different things. You want to learn from people who've done what you've done. He's been in this league for 12, 13 years. And no disrespect to Tyson Bagent, you haven't been in the league 12, 13 years. You're in there 1. So having Case Keenum there is huge for Caleb. Because now I get to bounce things off of you. What would you do in this situation? They're doing there. What are you seeing? Because you being in the league 10, 12 years, you've seen every defensive coordinator. You've seen every stunt that they've run. you have an understanding of how to watch film. So you can say, hey, look, here's what he does. You get third down cut-ups. Here's what he does on third down. Boom. Watch this guy on third down. Watch this guy in long. Watch this guy on first and long. You have a guy who's been there, done that, and all that shortens the learning curve. Because you got the guy who ran the number one offense in the NFL last year as your coach, and a veteran who's been in this league for 10, 12 years. Well, 12 plus years. He's seen it all. Just like Ben Johnson, went and got Dennis Allen to kind of lean on and say, hey, listen, what happens in this situation? When you were a head coach, what are you thinking? What did you do? How'd you get through it? He brought in Case Keenum for the same. Hey, what happened in this situation? What did you see? How'd you get through it? Ben Johnson, by every move he makes, shows us how smart he is. You know the old saying, if you want to be successful, hire people smarter than you. And that's what he's done. And now that he didn't hire, he brought in a guy smarter than Caleb, more experience to help him shorten that learning curve. Yes, Foster Covers. How you doing, Papa? Thank you for tuning in. We were asking for a vet QB in the room last year. We were. Kibuka, well, you're a fool. Nobody holds a tablet like Tyson Bagent, Sean. Nobody holds a tablet. He's a Pro Bowl tablet holder. Oh, man. But listen, just want to let you know, for those of you who didn't get to see, big news was this. So now we'll be Shawn Sierra Sports moving forward, starting on Monday. We'll be Shawn Sierra Sports moving forward. We're going to have a lot of cool things in the works, and I can't wait to roll them out and unveil them to you. What do you mean new music? You should hear the shit I listen to when I work out. Give me some Rammstein when I work out, dude. Stop it, dude. Sometimes they'll ask me, and I'll just say, and there needs to be a Spotify or Spotify station. I know they have a workout one, but it needs to be hardcore rap, gangster rap, or metal. And metal. They have a rap and rock one for Spotify, but give me rap and hardcore metal. Where you want to, I'm going to kill your mom, I'm going to kill my mom, that type of stuff. Dude, Rammstein, if you guys remember Triple X. Opening scene, when that guy's running, he's getting chased, he goes into that club, and that song, Bang Bang, that's Rammstein. That's that angry music. Sean, that's fucking hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. Mashawn, Greg Sierra Sports. That is awesome. Mashawn, that is awesome. is awesome. Oh, snap. Hey, Mashawn, I could throw house music in there too. I could throw house music in there too. But it depends on the workout. If I'm doing heavy lifts like we did today, we had heavy deadlifts. We had 3 sets. First set was a 5 of 70% of your max. Second set was 5 of 80% of your max. 5 plus, minimum 5 of 90% of your max. I don't know what my 90% of my max is. I don't know. But I just did 225, first set, 315 the second set for 5, and then the last set I did 365 for 5. 405, but I didn't have when I warm up, I need kind of recover. And so I didn't have enough, they didn't give me enough time to warm up, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning. So my body's not even up completely. So I just did 365 for 5 reps. But some heavy, like I wanted metal today. They had rap on today, which was good. No, Junior. I let Cub fans listen to that when they're working out. It's raining men. In that deep house, we have like as many rounds as possible and a lot of cardio is when I'll get is when I prefer my house music. And no, Mondo. Sorry, I'm not a Swiftie. And I'll leave that to Cub fans. I like some of the names you guys. Shorty, Super Greg. Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. What else? King Booker was at S3 or King, yeah, S3, baby. Yeah, good stuff. Hey, listen. Great stuff today. 2 hours is come and gone. I want to thank my guest, Zack Pearson, for coming on, talking Bears football with your boy. All right. And just a recap, the news. Moving forward, starting Monday, we are no longer Shawn and Maya in the morning. It is going to be Shawn Sierra Sports. So listen, guys, get out there, enjoy the weekend. It's beautiful. I know it might rain today. All right. But still, get out there. Patio season. I got a house music fest to go to tonight. I got a friend's birthday party to go to tonight. I have a family party to go to tomorrow. Maybe that same house music festival again tomorrow. All right, and then figure out maybe a brunch on Sunday. Summertime Shy is here. Get out there, enjoy it. Spend time with your family, friends, and loved ones. Do me a favor. Let your loved ones know you love them because tomorrow is promised to no one. Remember that. Summertime Shy is in full effect. Memorial Day is the unofficial start of summer. And, man, the weather's going to be nice, so get out there. And I'm telling you, make some memories because many of us here have a lot more years behind us than we do in front of us. All right? So make sure we live those to the fullest, create more memories, okay, instead of regrets. All right? 12:15 today, Lakina and Sid, Second City Sports. And then tomorrow, the Smoke Fellas at 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Make sure you tune in, see Damani, who's in the chat, and the rest of the Smoke Fellas with Ben and Kevin and DY, Angry Man, and Pat. All right, see them tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 1. So from everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. You have a phenomenal weekend. All right? I will see you on Monday. For Sean Sierra Sports, your boy, the Superback, I am out.